In this video, let us learn one more topic, that is one more property under S3 buckets, that is object level logging. So first, let us see what is object. What is object, sir? Object is nothing but a file. What is the object? Object is nothing but a file. Okay. So now the question is, so what are the things that I can able to perform by using this object in bucket? So what are the things, or else in specific, we can say what are the data events? What are the data events that I can able to perform by using this object in S3 bucket? So I can able to first, in order to perform any action, any event, so first I need to put my object, right? Yes. So that event we call it as put object. Okay. So first we need to put the object. That is one of the event that first we need to perform in order to do anything on that object. So let's say I put my object inside my bucket. So that is one of the event. Now in the object, what are the object present in the bucket? Can I able to access it? Yes. Can I able to get the object? Yes. So that event is nothing but get object is the event that is used to get your object which is already present in your bucket. So let's say I have an object which is present in my bucket, but what I want is I want to delete that object. So this is also one of the event, right? Delete object. So these are the events. So these are the major events that I can able to perform on my object, right? Yes. So these are the data events that I can able to perform on my object. So now let's see object logging. What is object logging is? So these are the events which are possible for an object, right? Yes. So these are the events which are possible for an object. Now let's say any event happened. Any event happened. Let's say I put my object, that is one log. I get my object, that is another log. If I delete my object, that is another log. So whenever these loggings happen, whenever these logging happens on my object, so if I store them, if I store all my loggings in a separate place, then I can say that whole file as object level logging. Object level logging is nothing but we are logging all the events which are happened at object level in my bucket. In my bucket at object level, what are the loggings happening? Those all I am recording in a log file. I am storing it somewhere. That is nothing but object level logging. What is object level logging? Object level logging is nothing but storing all the logs happening at object level. So now, how these object level logs are stored? So there is a service where it can store all the events. Whenever an event happen, that particular log will be stored in it. So what is the service where it stores all events which happened in all AWS services? That service is CloudTrail. What this CloudTrail will do? So this CloudTrail will monitor all the logs, will monitor all the events and store the logs at account level. Will monitor all the events which happens at account level and store the logs at account level. That means it just monitors and stores all the logs at account level. What this CloudTrail, it's like a CC camera on your gym where it can capture all the events which are happening in your account. Same like under the room. So what are the events happening? Those all will be monitored and stored under a single storage. Whatever you choose, there it will store. Now if you want to store this object level logging, if you want to store this object level logging, then you need to configure under the CloudTrail. So this CloudTrail mainly stores these object level loggings. So there are two ways for you to enable this object level logging. You can even enable your object level logging directly from S3 bucket itself. So if you open S3 bucket, if you open S3 bucket, so where you want to, in which bucket you want to provide this object level logging, that bucket first you need to open. So under that bucket, there is a option. There is a option. What is that? Property. So property. Under the property, you find an option called object level logging. What is that? Object level logging. So you find that object, that is object level logging, where at that object level logging, you can able to, you need to enable that object level logging. So whenever you enable that object level logging, from then your object level loggings will be stored under CloudTrail. So whenever you enabled your object level logging, then your data is stored under CloudTrail. One of the CloudTrail, it will be stored. So while you are enabling your object level logging, there is an option. What is that option? Choose a trail. So choose a trail option is there. There you need to choose a trail. So initially you need to create a trail. What does this trail indicate, sir? This trail indicates a place. This trail indicates a place where you store. That means S3 storage only. Let's say I want to store my logs under S3. So first I need to create a trail. First I need to create a trail with S3 storage. S3 bucket as one of the storage. So by using S3 bucket, I create a new bucket and I create a trail at first. After that trail, after creating that CloudTrail, now I can able to create this object level logging. So from the bucket, S3 bucket where you want to create your loggings, and you open the property, there you can see object level logging. So if you want to enable this, then you go to there, you see an option called enabling. So if you click on that, then you can see, then you need to provide two things. First one is choose a trail. So there you need to choose at where you want to store your object level logging data. So in which S3 bucket you want to store, that related trail you need to select, and you need to select events that you want to log. Events that you want to log. You want to log only read events, or else you want to log only write events, or else you want to log both events, then you need to tick these two. There are two checkbox will be provided here for reading as well as write. There you just need to provide checkbox, that means a tick, then these two will be selected, and all the logs related to read and write happened on object level in your S3 bucket, whatever the S3 bucket that you choose in. So in that, those will be stored under where? Another S3 bucket that you choose under trail, right? So in certifications or generally audience may confuse where my object level logging stored. It is also stored in one of the S3 bucket only, but that S3 bucket will be chosen by what? Whenever you're creating a trial, there you need to choose that S3 bucket. So there you need to choose your S3 bucket, and that a trail you are using here. So since you are using that trail for storing your object level loggings, indirectly that whatever the object level logging will be stored under the trail selected S3 bucket. And you need to select the events as well, which events you want to store, read only or write only, or both read and write. So if you want both, then tick mark both, or else if you want one only, then tick mark one only. So in this way you can able to store object level logging in one of the S3 bucket by using CloudTrail. So let's see what is the primary task of this CloudTrail. This CloudTrail will record and track all the API requests made. So from where all these API calls will made, sir? Either by using programmatically or by using console requests. So what are the programmatic requests possible? Either the request possible from SDK or CLI. Whereas from console, it will be possible from your AWS management console or other AWS services. This API calls may be possible, right? Yeah. So how CloudTrail record these logs? Whenever API request is initiated, AWS CloudTrail captures that as event, captures that event, nothing but captures the request as event and record this event within a log file, and which is then stored under what? S3 bucket. So whatever the CloudTrail that you created, that will store your event under S3 bucket. So each API call represents an event in log file. So each API call represents what? An event under log file. So that log file will be present where? Under S3 bucket. So if you want only this object level logging, then you can select from here. So let's say I don't want single bucket object level logging. I want all buckets object level logging. Then how can I able to get, sir? So you can able to get that. You can able to get that from CloudTrail. If you open the CloudTrail console, there you can see an option called data events. There you can see an option called data events. From there, you can able to select all the buckets in your account or certain only buckets you want, then you can able to select those as well. So there also same options available, read, write. What are the options you want, those you can able to select, and you can able to use them. So like that, we can able to provide this object level logging in two ways. So you can able to even create your object level logging at CloudTrail as well. So you can able to, so like this, the interface will be where you have bucket name. So first you want to open the CloudTrail, there you see data events, there you open S3, under that you have bucket name. There you have two options, but one is select all buckets, and a small checkbox is available. If you click on that checkbox, what happens is all your buckets which are present under your account will be selected. And so based on the permissions that you provided here, there is another checkbox here for read, and there is another checkbox here for write. So if you tick the read checkbox, then only your read data will be stored under your CloudTrail. If you tick write as well, then all your write events will be stored under your CloudTrail. So this is, so if you don't want to select all the buckets, if you want to specify certain buckets, then you provide your bucket name here and tick mark whatever the events you want to store. Like that, any number of buckets you want, those many number of buckets you can write here and provide the permissions. That means read, you want only read events or write events, like that you can tick, so that all the object level logging data will be stored. So if you want to provide from bucket like this, in this way you can able to provide. So if you want to provide multiple buckets at that same time, or else if you want to provide single bucket from the CloudTrail, this is the way. So also you can able to provide all the buckets object level logging from CloudTrail. So let's revise back. What does this CloudTrail will do? What is the primary task of it? It will just track and record all the API requests made. So from where API will get the request, either in programmatically or else from console. From where programmatic request will come? From either SDK or CLI. From where console request will come? From AWS management console or other AWS services, this request will come. So how CloudTrail will watch this request? CloudTrail will watch this request as an event or else a record. And so whenever request happen, it just triggered. So whenever API request is initiated, how CloudTrail will watch these requests? CloudTrail will watch this request in the form of either event or record. Then this event will be stocked. Then this event will be stored in the log file, and that log file will be stored under the trail under the S3 bucket. This is the actual thing happened. Whenever your API request is initiated, then this CloudTrail will store that request either in the form of an event or record in your log file. Then where this log file will be present, this will be stored under S3 bucket. That trail you need to select while creating your CloudTrail. So this is the thing, and finally where your logs will be present under S3 bucket. So when this CloudTrail will store all these logs, that means when this CloudTrail will store all the requests, whenever you activate that logging, object level logging, either from data events which is present in CloudTrail, or else you need to activate that from your S3 bucket properties. What is the property? Object level logging. There you need to select the trail and you need to provide the events. So where you want to select, there you can select, and there you want to provide your events. In both you want to provide events. So these are the two ways where you can able to enable this object level logging. This is about object level logging, where you can able to access loggings regarding object level data events which are possible. That is put object, get object, data delete. So that is the thing. So this object level logging, what does it store? Logs related to object level data. Object is nothing but a file. File related data says what? Data events are not what? Put object, get object, and delete object. So I hope you understood this video. How and where and when your object level loggings are stored, and how to enable this object level logging, and in other way how can you store your object level logging from CloudTrail. You understood from this video, I think. So if you feel this video is contentful, then please like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to get the latest updates. Thank you guys. Thanks for watching this video. See you back in the next video. Until then, bye bye.